not work here because you're idiots. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's when you say someone's overqualified, it means you don't want to pay them. Work is something they've seen pictures of in a book from like the Industrial Revolution. They have no idea what work really is, and they're afraid of it. And so they create all these things, these terms like overqualified. Like if anyone's willing to work for you to accept wages, I don't care if he has a fucking PhD, he's not overqualified. You're just afraid of him because you realize that like, oh, he might be able to penetrate this shroud of bullshit we've created around these sacred jobs that don't mean a goddamn thing.
he'll take my job.
Yeah, he'll take my job and the 3 people above me's job. Check that, because that's capitalism.
Well, I like how we have a new acting president hired 6 months ago because finally filled the vacancy that he should have filled 3 years ago. But he's the one that made the human trafficking joke the other year at a holiday banquet, where he was talking about like, oh yeah, I go to Asia a lot, so if anybody wants a good deal on an Asian person, come talk to me or whatever. The room was silent. And
this was a UAW president made this joke?
No, not UAW president. Just he was at the time he was our international vice president, so he did all the travel to China and shit, in Japan to like look over operations and oversee.
Oh, corporate president.
Yeah, corporate. Yeah. And so he was making jokes about getting a good deal on an Asian person. Nobody laughed, and then HR stood up and like, "Oh, we didn't hear that." It's like,
thanks HR, you're really doing your jobs there.
It's like, oh, fucking fantastic.
Your horrible addiction to hand jobs from Asian women, we're gonna ignore that because.
We're owned by this Australian billionaire and his holding company and shit. And so they're talking about like, oh yeah, he's investing the most money he's ever invested in this company this year. He's investing $90 million to get us up to snuff and replace things and, finally get us operating at full capacity. And it was like, oh, we can see how he's in it for the long term and he's with us and he thinks he's really backing us. And I'm like, or he's selling us because we're at the highest value we've ever had. He's making us just operational so nobody can complain about anything, and then he'll sell us for more money because we've been sold 5 times in like fucking 20 years.
Rupert Murdoch?
No, we're owned by GEC Holdings or something like that. It's like some guy in fucking Australia that never leaves his private island. Yeah. So he just does everything from his bungalow or some fucking shit. So I can't imagine.
Mel Gibson about the how the lesser races are going to ruin us.
Probably
that guy. Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, yeah, I could see how you think it's a good thing, but it could be a bad thing. So I don't know.
Almost definitely is a bad thing.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. I think I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I know we've been kind of talking.
This week for the American Greedy Factory podcast, this is Nathan.
This is Common.
Andrew.
Goodbye, America.